Hey guys, I just want to deliver a quick message before we start the video, and I would really appreciate it if you went on my channel and hit the big red subscribe button and turned on notifications to make sure you get an update every time I post a video and you will not miss anything. And back to your video. Thank you. Hello Legends of Today and the Future, this is TBB here, and I have a question for you. Have you ever wanted to develop your own game, your own Roblox game in fact, and you just have not known where to start because you get into the studio and all you see is something that's intimidating? Well, boy, have you clicked on the right video, because I will show you how to make your full-on Roblox game from scratch, starting from the base plate. Now first, it's gonna take a lot of scripting, and you're gonna need to get used to that, and a lot of building, so there is a lot of work ahead, but I promise you it is worth it. Sit back and enjoy the video. Hello Legends of Today and the Future, this is TBB here, and welcome back to part 4 on how to make your own game on Roblox. Today we'll be covering how to make your own currency store where people can buy your currency using the precious currency of Roblox. And so the first step you want to do is you want to head to roblox.com/develop and head to your game and find under your games, depending if it's in the group or if it's in the if it's one of yours. And then the first step is hit this little settings button right here, scroll all the way down to configure game. Once you're under configure game, make sure that the enable studio access to API services is checked, and head down to the tab that says developer products. Under developer products, hit the big blue obvious button that says create new. Name whatever the product is you want. So in this game I have it called cash, so I'm gonna do a thing where you can buy 10 cash. It actually was coins. Let me change it to that. Under description, we're going to want to say just instantly gives you 100 coin. We're going to make it nice and cool looking. So yeah, it gives you 100 coin. Price, we're going to make it 5 Robux, nothing expensive. And we're going to have an image file we already selected, so I recommend finding your own, making your own if you want. And I had it under here somewhere. It was a $sign basically. It will do that, and it will upload the image, and then you just want to hit create. And here's your developer product. Now you're going to want to create this for however many products you want, so I'm going to do 4. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to hit create new again. And I'm going to create 4 products. We're going to do this on 25 coin, and we're going to say instantly gives you 25 coin. And we're going to just take this line and copy it so we don't have to type it up all the time. And not 25 coin, sorry, 100 coin. And I'm going to make it 25 Robux. I was getting those numbers flipped around, which would not have been good. And then we're going to want to pick that same picture again for this one. Scroll down and hit the big create button. Well, not big, hit the blue create button. And I'm going to do another one. As you can see, I have all of my products here, and there are some really important numbers you're going to want to remember. These IDs right here are going to be what make all of your products unique, and it's going to tell the studio or the engine on when you mention it in your script what products to buy when you type them in wherever. And also this, you're going to remember these numbers on your own behalf so you know what to give the person when they buy a product. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to head into the Roblox studio, we're going to make a script for the products, and we're going to show you how it all works. So meet you in the studio. Okay, so I am in the studio right now. What you want to do is find your server script service you're going to want to click, you can drop it down, click the big plus button under server script service and add a script. Click on this script right here, click on the name and call it developer product handler or dev product handler. Hit enter, that's its final name, and now under here just delete all the text in it currently so you just have one line. And now we're going to define a couple variables for getting the data source service and the marketplace service. And what the marketplace service is it handles all of your in-game Roblox purchases like game passes and developer products. It's nothing really crazy. So we're going to make a comment saying that we have our service and data store variables. We're just going to call it service and data stores. And I did update the appearance of my script of the words and all that because I thought the red and the green looked kind of a little too Christmassy, so I gave it a kind of a darker theme like blues and purples with the vibrant green, so I made the comments brighter. So now we're going to make a local variable, and we're going to call this one marketplace service. And it's going to be equal to game : get service, and in quotes marketplace service. On another line, we're going to do another local variable, and we're going to get the data source service. And that is equal to game : get service, and in quotes the data source service. Underneath, now we're going to want to do local previous purchases is equal to data store service : get data store, and we're gonna name we're gonna make a new store and we're gonna call it previous purchases. Because when a player makes a purchase, Roblox does not log that, and to prevent failures of our systems, we are going to log it ourselves. So under here, we're gonna make a new thing. We're gonna call this product IDs. And this is important because this is actually how we're gonna tell the script to know what product is purchased and what to give them when that product is purchased. So we're gonna do a local variable product 1 ID, just like that. And we're gonna set it. We're not gonna put anything equal to it right now. We're gonna take this first product right here, and we're going to copy this ID from the browser, and we're going to set it equal to that number. That's all. Don't have to put a string, just make it that set of numbers. Drop down, put another local variable, and do the same thing for product 2. Make it equal to the second product on the screen. And make sure, it might jumble this depending on how many products you have. So make sure you're going in order from lowest to highest, which is the way I preferably do it. And repeat that until you have all of your products mentioned in the script. Okay, as you can tell, I have all 4 of them mentioned in the script. And now what we're going to do is, if you memorize them, we're going to put a new section, new comment. So we're going to do it product payouts. So what this means is when the person buys the product, we're going to designate the number of how much of whatever we want to give to them when they buy it. So we're going to make a local variable, and we're going to call it product 1. And it's going to be equal to 10, because that's what we had for the first one. And local product 2 is equal to, I think, 100. Yep, and the next one's 250, so local product 3. So equal to 250. And local product 4 is equal to 500. So that's our amounts. And now we're going to drop down and do another thing. We're going to do currency name. And if you have a simple one-word currency, names such as mine, you don't have to put this variable in, but I'm going to do it just so I can show you how you can do it if it's more of a complicated name, like if it has a space or a dash. So we're going to do local currency name, like we have in our other scripts, is equal to, and then put in a string whatever the name of your currency is, so which mine is coin. So I technically don't need this because that is a one-word thing, but I'm going to do it anyway. And we're going to drop 2. We're going to do our marketplace purchase function, just like that. Sorry for my inability to type. And we're gonna get our marketplace variable. So marketplace service dot process receipt is equal to function, and in parameters, so in parentheses we're gonna want the parameter to be receipt info, and then we're gonna drop down, and we are going to do our required variables for this section. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make our key. We're going to make a purchase key, and is equal to receipt info. And receipt info logs a number of things, like the product ID, the purchase ID, the player ID, not the user ID, but the player ID, and a lot of other things. So we're going to want to get the receipt info of the player ID, and we're going to concatenate that to a string with a dash, and concatenate it again to the receipt info, into the purchase ID. So this is the string we want. So it's gonna be player ID is gonna be, it's gonna look something like a bunch of numbers, and it's gonna put that dash in, and then you're gonna get their purchase ID. So it's gonna look probably something crazy like that, but you're not gonna see it. No one's gonna see it. It's just doing that so Roblox has something to read. We're gonna drop down again. We're gonna make our player variable. Player is equal to game.players, calling get player by user ID. So when it comes to getting players from a server script, there are plenty of ways. There's like the character and the user ID, and what we want to do is we want to get the player with the receipt info dot their player ID. So now we know what the player is, and now we want to make another variable, and it's going to be purchase success, and set that equal to nil, so nothing. And we're going to want to go down to, and we're going to want to make it pcall, so a function pcall, and inside that we're going to want to do purchase success is equal to previous purchases, calling get async, and we're going to find the purchase key. Outside this pcall, we're going to make an if statement. So if purchase success, then we're going to want to return. So it's going to return something back to the player. We're going to want to access the enum again, just like in a lot of previous videos. And this time, instead of like key code or any of that, we're going to want to do product purchase decision, because it can also handle this stuff too. And we're going to do dot purchase granted. So if they join the game and they have a logged purchase but it was incompleted, we're just going to grant the purchase to finish it off, just like that. It's really simple. So we can add a comment there, and we can put if they have bought, let them buy another under a new purchase ID. So that's just so if you want to come back to the script and you want to learn from this, just read this and it's going to tell you what it all means. And we're going to drop 2 down again. We're going to do if not player then. So by the time this process runs and they cannot find the player that we singled out, we're going to do a return enum.productPurchaseDecision.not processed yet. So what that means is if they run this command by purchasing but they crash so inconveniently that it's in the middle of the purchase, it's going to halt it and their account will not be charged, and it will wait until they rejoin the game again to finally charge their account and give them what they bought. So that's kind of a way to foolproof that they're not getting scammed. And we're going to do an else statement, and inside this else statement, which means there's going to be a player, then we're going to want to make a bunch of there's going to be a lot of stuff in here because it's going to be what the it's going to decide all the products of what they bought. So if we're going to make an if statement, if receipt info dot product ID is equal to product 1 ID. So if the product ID logged under the receipt information, if it's equal to this ID right here, we're going to put then. So inside here, we're going to want to do a statement that gives them the currency. So it's going to be player dot leader stats. So we're going to do, if you have a simple currency name like mine, you could do .coin, .value. But for anyone that doesn't, it's more complicated. We're going to do in brackets our currency name variable .value is equal to, and we're going to copy this line and paste it there. So it's going to be equal to what it was and we're going to add the product 1. So it's going to add that much to their account when they've purchased it. So we're going to drop down 1 line and we're going to go back and we're going to do an else if. So that means that it can only be one of these statements. You can't run more than one at the same time. So we're going to do else if receipt info dot product ID. I don't know what I did there. Dot product ID is equal to product 2 ID. Paste it right here, and we're going to do instead of product 1, product 2. So now take these 2 lines. Do not copy the end on it. Just these 2 lines. Hit Control-C to copy them. Drop down a line, hit backspace, and paste it. And just change this to a 3. And change this to a 3. And do the same thing one more time, but except change them to 4s. And then outside, we're going to drop down onto these. We're going to do a p call. So actually, we're going to do a comment. We're going to do log their purchase. I'm going to put a p call with a function inside. And inside this p call, we're going to want to do previous purchases. So we're going to want to set async. So we're going to want to save something to it. And we're going to get the purchase key. And we're going to set a Boolean value of true. So that means you're just going to save a true value to this to show that they have logged a thing. It doesn't have to be any specific integer. We're just going to save a Boolean value like that to make it simple. And then down here, we're going to drop another line, and we're going to return again. So we're going to return the enum.productPurchaseDecision and Okay guys, I just want to apologize. I ran into a bit of a dilemma. I didn't lose any footage, but the microphone stopped working because my computer died halfway through here, and I did not have my cord near me, so it died while I was going to go get it. But I basically set up a GUI. I'll go back through a little bit of what I did. I just have a frame here with a bool value of open, which is set to false, a button outside of the frame that stays there all the time, that has an open script, which you can now, I'll leave it up here so you can copy. And then I have a close button inside here with another script inside, which you can quick copy this to now if you want to as well. And make sure that all your stuff that you have named is all what I have, so the scripts will work. And now you want to go under, I have all the product buttons here. You might have more than me. Now you might have less than me, but under the first one, you're going to insert a local script. Call the script purchase trigger. And then go into the script and define the marketplace service with a variable. And now do another variable defining the product ID. You want to go into the browser, copy the product ID of the first one right here, and stick it into the thing right here. Now you're going to want to drop another line and do purchase prompt. So you want to do script.parent.mouse button one click :connect function. And I don't think it's a mouse button click. You don't need a parameter. What you're going to do is you want to do marketplace service : prompt product purchase. And you're going to want to do, I think what we have to do is actually we're going to do another variable. We're going to do marketplace and player. Right here we're going to do local player is equal to game.players.local player because we're using a local script. This will be easy. We want to do player, comma, and product ID. So we're going to want to purchase a product for this player with the given product ID. So now here we're going to close out of this. We're going to copy this script. So right click, copy. And we're going to highlight 2, 3, and 4. Right click, paste into selected. And we're going to individually edit each one of the scripts and change the product ID. So with the second one, we're going to go into it, copy the second ID we have here, and replace it. So click it and replace it with the correct ID. Do the same for 3 and 4 or however many you got. And now that is our thing basically complete. So what you want to do is go under your frame, under your position. You're going to want to do type 0.5, 0, -2, 0. Hit enter. It is now out of frame. So then just simply minimize out of all this, and our shop should be ready. So what we are going to do is we are going to simply test it. And we are going to test to see if our thing works. So we're going to zoom out. We are going to click on the need more coin button. And as you can see, it brought down this GUI. It opens and closes as intended. Now what we're going to do is we're going to touch any of these buttons and click on it. As you can tell, it prompts the purchase for our coin. So now we can tell the prompt works, but we also need to make sure that the developer handler script works. So we see we have 500 coin right now. Let's click on the 500 coin button and notice that it says this is a test purchase. Your account will not be charged. So you can buy as many coin as you want because you're the developer. It won't charge your account as long as you are in the studio. But if this did work for you, make sure to leave a like and leave a comment down below if there's anything that went wrong with you. If you got the same error, I'll work together with you to fix it. And in the next video, we're going to learn how to do a reward code GUI with enabled filtering. So until next time, I will see you in the next video. Peace.
Feel like it's on mine.